Yay! Final video. Gosh, this is a lot of slides. Time to write a conclusion. We're up to step 11. Yay! Here's the question. Here is the essay. And more. And here's the conclusion. I'm going to read it because it's only 3 sentences. This event is important as it allows readers to explore relevant concepts such as the value of individuality, the significance of growing up, and the power that wisdom provides as they follow Jonas on his journey of self-discovery. The Giver is a sincerely powerful novel that inspires readers to find the courage to appreciate how important each individual really is and to be brave enough to leave your childhood behind as you journey into the unknown on a quest to discover who you truly are. Lois Lowry adeptly conveys Steinbeck's idea that in order to truly live, we must obtain liberation of not only our body, but our mind as well. Here it is in our 3 R's, restate, remind, reword. If you've come here from the opening quote tutorial, and I've told you to come here to write your final sentence, skip ahead to the end bit where I'm just talking about rewording. You don't need to worry about the rest of your conclusion at the moment because you haven't written your essay, so you can't write your entire conclusion yet, but you can write that final sentence because you've already chosen your quote. Yay! Okay, so first we're going to look at restate. This event is important as it allows readers to explore the relevant concepts such as the value of individuality, the significance of growing up, and the power that wisdom provides as they follow Jonas on his journey of self-discovery. You're basically restating your entire thesis statement. You should be going back to your paragraph, your introduction, and having a look at what you wrote as your argument. Event, connect back to the question. What were your 3 paragraphs? My arrow's out of order, but that's okay. Value of individuality, growing up, wisdom. Those were the 3 paragraphs. Restate what those 3 paragraphs were actually all about. So either look at your argument sentence in your introduction or look at your 3 topic sentences at the opening of your paragraphs. Readers, and then the word they, as they follow, discuss the reader. Now, it would have been fantastic if this essay discussed the reader right from the very beginning. It's not necessary to get an excellence, but that's the kind of habit you should be trying to get into. So if you haven't written your entire essay yet, if you're just watching these for fun, then you should try to include talk about the reader's perspective as much as you can. It's really easy to go back and insert that kind of stuff into your writing as well. It's just a couple of words here and there, and shows that you really understand how different things in the story make readers react. Jonas on his journey of self-discovery. Look back at what your thesis statement was. So remember, my thesis statement was kind of about growing up. Not kind of about growing up, it was about growing up. Another way to say that is journey of self-discovery. So I'm just restating what my original thesis statement was. There should be 0 new information in your conclusion. That is not what a conclusion is for. A good conclusion does not introduce new ideas. That is for paragraphs. A good conclusion ties all the loose ends together, restates your argument, and reminds the reader why you wrote this essay. So, sincerely powerful, your opinion. Well, I should read the sentence, shouldn't I? The Giver is a sincerely powerful novel that inspires readers to find the courage to appreciate how important each individual really is and to be brave enough to leave your childhood behind as you journey into the unknown on a quest to discover who you truly are. Inspires the readers. I'm acknowledging the audience again. And what was the overall impact of the turning point? Now, that little bit is going to be, not little, it's not very little at all, but that bit is going to be different for everybody depending on what question they've answered. So I'm connecting back to the question. I'm thinking, right, the question was about the turning point. Well, the turning point was important. Overall, how was it important? Well, it's important because it connects to the readers and it lets them see that you need to be brave and be an individual and go from being a child to being an adult and find who you truly are. I would say that for those of you who are at this point not feeling super confident, like for those of you who are like, oh, maybe I am just working on getting a merit at the moment, This is the sentence that you could actually drop from your conclusion. You could just restate and then reword. This is the sentence that really requires you to have a strong understanding of your essay as a whole. And what I mean by that is, are you actually able to hold in your mind's eye what your essay looks like? Now, for some of you, you'll be sitting there right now thinking, what? What is she talking about? If you're sitting there thinking, what is she talking about? Then you're probably not at that point yet. There'll be a few of you who'll be listening and thinking, oh yeah, I can see, yep, it starts here and then it moves on here, and yours might look like a timeline, or it might look like a bubble or a cloud. But those of you who can like hold it in your head, your entire essay, without little bits like disappearing from your understanding, you will be the ones who hopefully can write this sentence. Those of you who, when you try and think to yourself, what was my second paragraph again? And you actually have to go back and look at your second paragraph to remind yourself, you're probably not someone who can hold all the ideas together yet. You have to train yourself to do that. It's really hard to do. So feel free to drop this sentence from your conclusion, a 2-sentence conclusion. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. My high school history teacher recommended to me that a conclusion should be 10% of your total word count. Now, I mean, that's just arbitrary, but it just goes to show you, if you break down, we've got essentially 5 paragraphs in this essay, an intro, 3 proper paragraphs, and a conclusion. If it was really going to be 1/5 of the essay, then it would be 20% of the word count. But no, we want it to be 10%. The introduction maybe 15%, and then the rest split between your paragraphs. So don't feel stressed if you feel like you have to drop this. Conclusions should be short. Okay, and lastly, reword. Now this is where you show that you had a plan all along. This is where you show, yep, I chose that opening quote and I knew exactly why I chose it, because it was relevant the whole way through. And you prove that by putting it in your own words. If you can take someone else's quote and then put it in your own words, it's called paraphrasing, then that shows that you are a really intelligent person. So, again, acknowledging authorial intent, Lois Lowry and Steinbeck, and then prove that you understand your quote and how it connects to the novel. So, in order to truly live, we must obtain liberation of not only our body, but our mind as well. You could even take this further. You could even say, in order to truly live, we must obtain liberation of not only our body, but, as Jonas does in Leaving the Community, our mind as well. And that would really show that you understand how it connects to the novel. If you don't do that with your opening quote, then your opening quote is just like, it's like having a colourful, bright title for no good reason. Like, remember when in primary school you wanted to hand in stories and half the page was like this giant title with like 3D lettering on it and stuff? I have students who still do this in year 9. It's adorable. It doesn't add anything to what it is that you have to actually do. So if you can't take that quote and then show that you understand what it means, it doesn't add anything to your essay writing. It's just like you saying, oh look, I found a quote and I'm putting it at the beginning of my essay. I don't understand what it means and I don't understand how it connects to my novel. So you've got to be able to reword it. Really prove that you get it. If you don't, then it's just all kind of a waste of time. It's all just for show. Alrighty, you are done with the tutorials, and hopefully you are done with the first draft of your essay as well. I hope that you've been writing down questions when you are stuck and giving those questions to me, and do remember that this is your first draft, and so once you finish this, your next step is to actually go back through and do some editing, do some crafting, really control your writing. And I'm going to be doing some tutorials on how to do that as well. So step into that world of actually looking at your writing almost through as though you were a different person, trying to really step back from it, not take yourself too seriously, and really criticize what you've done and find ways to improve it, to make it even better. That's the second best part of essay writing. Cool.